Welcome to Touched and Empowered, a show created to empower individuals to value their lives by hosting think tank discussions that will inspire positive action. Touched and Empowered with Katie and Ace starts now.
So welcome to this episode of Touched and Empowered. I am Katie here with Ace as always, and having mic issues. You keep swinging at Ace's mic keeps swinging out of camera, but that's okay. So what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about unconditional love as I pet the mic. So, all right. What inspired my idea of doing unconditional love today is my beautiful dog, who
The poor baby.
Yeah, oh my gosh, she was throwing up all night, and I was just like, no. She was throwing up white foam. She was just hacking it up, and my dog has been pretty lethargic because she has something like it's called like I can't say the professional name, but she has sores around her lip. So that's been stopping her from eating, and she's been getting really lethargic. And a giant dog that's 105 pounds, when it stops eating, you notice.
That's true.
Yeah. So unconditionally, I was so cranky last night when she was hacking it up that I was like, oh my God. I just wanted to tell her to go to sleep, but I couldn't because I needed to take care of my dog. I was massaging her neck. I was like grabbing whatever was in her throat. Couldn't find anything. I went as far as finding chicken, like creating her own soft food so that she could be okay. My baby. Oh. So yeah, it's so fascinating. I know we've talked about unconditional love before, but this is like we wanted
This
to
is
frame it.
parental. This is parental
Yeah.
unconditional love because and whether it be child or whether it be a fur baby, it's at least comparing your notes to my notes, they're pretty darn similar.
Yeah, you get insurance for your baby. You make sure that they're okay if they're cut or feeling funky. Like you want to make sure that they come to you. My dog has not left my side. I've been doing my best to stay home to make sure she's okay. Oh, my baby girl.
Yeah, heaven knows I did the same thing for Austin when he was younger. But now it's a completely different type of unconditional love because he's college, adult, working on his own life. So I do have a pretty funny story that you would probably get a kick out of.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay, so he stopped by, I don't know if it was after work or after he was done doing his internship, because that's part of his college curriculum. But he stopped by for like 10 minutes because he didn't want to go home because he would have been alone because his other half had not come home yet. He was doing an all-day project. So he's like, I just didn't want to be by myself. It's just kind of been a long day. I just wanted to get a hug. And then he got a text saying, I'm home. When are you going to be home? And he's like, oh, Mom, he's home. Love you. Bye. And he ran. I'm like, I know exactly where I rank in my son's life. I am not the number one priority. But you know what? It's fine. I'm okay with it because one, I have a great story now that I could tease him about. And two, there comes a point with, at least for me, where I knew I would not be 100% involved in whatever the heck Austin was doing. Because he eventually was going to grow up to be an adult, have his own life, have his own job, have his own financial worries or financial successes, or whatever else is going to happen. But it's going to be his path to walk, not me being the helicopter parent over his shoulder, having to be nosy and know everything that's going on.
Oh, I'm such a helicopter mom to my dog.
But no, there's a difference though. There were times when Austin was sick. There was time when Austin was recovering from surgery. And yeah, I was that helicopter parent during those times where I was checking up on him, making sure he had everything that he needed. And if heaven forbid something happened and Austin had to move back home, I would be there to do that unconditional caring, supporting, providing absolutely everything for the first little bit that he's home. But I'm not going to coddle him for an extended period of time. You come home, you heal, then you leave. You don't come home, heal, and stay.
Yeah, you see, not I understand that. I totally get that.
Right.
Have you heard about this thing about like being in your 30s and like being at home with your parents?
I've seen and heard of a few people who have shared on social media about being in their 30s and returning home. Now, I will say that there's many different reasons why people move back in with their parents. When Brian and I moved in with my in-laws, it was temporarily until we can get back up on our feet and we could buy our house. You know, there are times when I jokingly told my mom this, even though I have a feeling it's going to happen. When it comes to a point in time to where my mom is not going to be able, I mean, we're talking 20 years down the road, people, but when my mom's not going to be able to take care of herself and stuff, there is a good possibility that I would end up moving in to help take care of her later on in life. Just because that's what Katie does. You know, so I can see where there are reasons to move back in support of parents because our parents supported us when we were younger. But I've also heard and seen stories of where people in their 30s get tired of adulting.
Yeah, let's look at the statistics.
And move back home because they don't want to adult anymore.
So please Google this, because there is like a really high statistic of people in their 30s coming home. It was even in like, have you ever watched Gilmore Girls? There's a Netflix reprisal of it that has this group called the 30 over 30 Club. So like there's 30-year-olds that move back with their parents in, I forgot the name of the
whatever the town was,
like that hometown. They all moved back in with their parents and they're part of a club, and it's so fascinating because I'm like, wait, this is like a thing. This isn't just for whatever reason I found that Gilmore Girls somehow predicted the future. So
well, I don't know if they predicted this future. Google says in 2023,
okay,
about 12% of 30 to 34-year-olds lived with their parents. And that is actually a slightly decrease from previous years. So, I mean, but again, we're talking, if that's 2023, we're talking 2020, 2021, 2022, that's post-COVID.
That's true. And
you know, so I don't know I mean, that obviously played a part in it, but I will say that looking at just my family, I have myself and I have my two sisters. 19, I got married, I moved out. I have never moved back in with my mom. Both of my sisters, after a few years after graduating high school, going to college, living their own lives, they both temporarily moved back in with my mom. I don't remember for how long. I don't remember if it was months or if it was a year or two or whatever, because I was married and living my own life. But I do remember going to visit and visiting them at my mom's house when my mom was out of town. So that was 20 years ago. So even back then, it was at least for my frame of mind, it was semi-normal to move back in with your parents for at least a period of time if things were not going according to plan. Because like for example, it was because she got sick, but one of my sisters didn't complete college because she contracted Lyme disease. She wasn't able to complete college. I mean, so there was a reason there. Yeah.
Yeah, those are very, I mean, two of my sisters did the same thing.
Yeah, so, but again, it was just a stopping point for them before they continued on. They didn't stay for any extended period, what I would call an extended period of time. To clarify, extended period of time. The initial plan for Brian and I moving in with my in-laws was that we would be there for 3 to 5 years to save up money to put a down payment on a house. We were there for 11 years. That's an extended period of time.
That is unconditional love.
It took a while to get to the point to where, okay, let's get our own place. And that's just how it worked out for us. Was it the ideal situation? No. Do I have harbor any negative feelings against my in-laws for the fact they let us stay that long? Absolutely not. Because I greatly appreciate the fact that they were willing to do that to help us out. Would I go back? No. I love them, but I could not live with them anymore. It's like if I wanted, right now, I love my mom to death, but I would not want to move back in with her. That's why when I go visit, I stay for a week and that's it. Unconditional love. I respect my mom's space.
That's fair. That's unconditional. Yeah, I do the, yeah. I know my parents unconditionally love me. Is holy heaven.
Yeah, they put up with us.
They put up with us. They've done so much for us. She's done so much for me. There's a lot. There's a lot that I could be very grateful for. And thank goodness. Because then I wouldn't be looking like this. I'd be looking totally different. I wouldn't have my dog. My mother has been my ride or die number one. But yeah, like when I think about unconditional love and coming from that space, yes, you come back home, you heal.
Yes.
They're there to, they can tell you what to do all they want. It's not going to happen. But what's great is that regardless if you listen to them or not, you come back and you make a mistake, they're still your parents and they still love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been very grateful in that regard. And then on top of that, I have my own fur baby. That will do funny things.
That'll do funny things, and you will do crazy things to help take care of her. Like go to the grocery store, buy all of the parts and pieces to make Midnight soft food so Midnight can eat, and forget to buy food for yourself. That is a very parent thing to do. I am guilty of that as well.
I'm pretty hungry actually now that I think about it now. And then even on top of that, I'm like, okay, what medications does she need? I'm getting all of these things. I like bought her hairbrush before mine. Like the things. My giant baby who's
giant. Yes. And we do as parents, we do sacrifice for our kids, whether it be child or whether it be pet. We do make sacrifices for them. We do think of their needs before our own sometimes, which is great. But we also have to remember the unconditional love for ourselves. One of the things that I have found recently is that as part of the healing journey and self-love is that it's easier to love others after you love yourself. It's easier to provide support to others after you support yourself. As Midnight keeps trying to stick her nose in the shot.
She's trying to get my attention. I have chicken and she has something else.
And she wants your chicken because it's
chicken.
I just love that her nose is like in the top corner of the camera. There's this giant mouth up here going, "Oh, Mom, feed me. Feed me."
She has food in her mouth. Look at that. There's already food in her mouth. I love you.
Well, apparently she wants your food instead.
I know, and I'm like, stop that. Okay. All right. Come. Katie, please go on. Go on, speak. Oh.
I don't even know what in the world I was saying right now because I was too busy laughing at Midnight's gigantic mouth in the corner of the screen. Okay. So I have always heard the term you have to fill your own cup and then support others from the overflow. And I never really understood what that meant until I had taken into consideration that part of it was self-love and the unconditional self-love that no matter what, I love myself. And that made it easier for me to be able to look at the people in my world and say, I can love everyone, even if I don't love the deeds that they're doing. Because there's no comparison anymore. Because I can see myself as this beautiful, wonderful person who I am, that nobody else can be like because no one's as crazy as me. Kidding, I'm not crazy. But no one is exactly like me. I am 100% unique.
Yes.
And when I hit rock bottom, I had a hard time showing up for other people because I couldn't even show up for myself. To be honest, it felt like I could not show up for myself at that point. So going through the healing process and not only acknowledging what my faults were, but being able to find the beauty in the faults that I have. So then that way I can then learn and grow and become, for lack of a better term, more comfortable with myself during this whole transition process. Because whenever we go through a big change in our life, it's a transition. And getting to the point as to where now it's like, oh, okay, well, you know what? Katie's cup is only half full today. So I'm only going to help a few people because otherwise I will be completely drained and then worthless. So there are some days where I might have only one client call because I'm spending the rest of the day taking care of me. And then there are days like today where it's client call, client call, client call, client call, client call, client call, podcasting. Guess what? Podcasting fills me up, so I'm okay.
See, that's a good thing. Yeah, and I recognize that because I feel like that's another thing. So unconditional love, yes, you can give that unconditional love to others, but now how do you fill up your own unconditional love cup? Because you're going to need it. And not everybody knows how to do that. Usually it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to take care of these needs, take care of that need, take care of that. But then like what's filling up your tank when it comes to you being a human?
Right.
Like what are the things that you love that give back to you? For instance,
Where's your joy?
Yeah, where's your joy? Podcasting does that for us, which is why we have so many episodes and it's still going somehow. And it's building and we're continually building, which is even more incredible. But it's such a interesting thing because when I think about unconditional love, you do give it to yourself when you feel love for yourself and others or others, like my dog.
Yep. But the one thing that I will point out is that there will be times, at least for me, there were times where I was able to give unconditional love to other people when I could not give it to myself or accept it from anybody else.
Now that's big. Okay.
And for me, part of it was the whole limiting belief of I'm not worthy. It was, I mean, that's the simple version of explaining what my limiting belief was, but close enough. And one of the things that I found is deciding that, for lack of a better term, I'm the one who's stuck with me 100% of the time.
That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, sure.
So, do I really want to be with someone that's not worthy of my time, or am I going to make myself worthy of my own time? That was a out in left field because I'm talking about myself in the third person, but it was the only way I could wrap my brain around the fact that I needed to like who I was. I need to love who I am.
And our parents
I can't
sometimes.
count on anyone else doing it for me because I can't receive what I don't already feel.
I don't know if I can agree with that.
For me, I have a hard time receiving compliments until I got to the point as to where I could compliment myself. I have a hard time receiving love, unconditional love, friendship love, for example, until I found that I believed that I was a good friend.
Oh, so you believe. So in other words, you have to believe that you deserve the unconditional love before even receiving it,
Not
and
not
slash
not
for any
not
other.
necessarily, but not only deserve, but am worthy of it. There's
Okay.
a difference between I deserve it. I deserve chocolate cake. But am I worthy of chocolate cake? I deserve $1 million, but have I done the work to be worthy of $1 million? See, the word makes the difference. At least to me, it does. So
That's an interesting topic.
Yeah. So breaking it down to, for me, am I worthy of it? And I had to decide for myself that I am worthy to give myself unconditional love. I am worthy to receive unconditional love, not only from myself, but from others. And that's what started to heal that part of me to where now it's easier for me to receive compliments. It's easier for me to receive refinements, critique, and criticism because I know that they're coming from the other person is giving it with good intentions. They're trying to help me do better. They're showing me what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, so I can continue to grow. I can continue to improve. Versus before, I just assumed they were giving me a hard time and didn't like me. So it's, this
That's
is
pretty
just,
big.
yeah,
That makes sense.
None of this made sense to my brain before, but this is what I found I needed. It was kind of like giving myself permission to take a day off when I worked in the corporate world.
Yes.
When I was in the corporate world, I would show up to work sick and feel like it was not okay for me to go home because I was sick until someone told me to go home. I needed someone else's permission. At the point now, I am fully capable of sending a text message to my clients and say, look, I'm sick today. I'm not getting on the computer. Can we reschedule? And giving myself permission to take time to recover if I'm sick or if I need to heal because I'm injured. Or to be honest, I am just having a really bad day and don't feel like getting out of bed. But again, I don't have to try and push through these things because I feel like I need to be there for somebody else. I can decide whether I'm going to be there for me or not. And I think that is really part of the unconditional love when it comes to self. How you're honoring yourself.
Like right now, eating.
Yeah, for you right now is eating. For me, it's drinking water and apparently running my mouth. I feel like I'm talking really fast, which is why I said I was running my mouth.
Oh, I see. I'm like, you're doing great. So interesting when like our self-worth, when we see worth in others, sometimes we forget that we have our own.
Yes. Or we fall into compare-itis. We can start comparing ourselves to other people.
Which is natural tendency. So don't beat yourself up.
Which is a natural tendency, just like the natural negative bias of the brain. It's normal to compare yourselves to other people. But again, remember, we're unique. Everyone is different. Everyone learns differently, grows differently, experiences things differently. So not everything is going to be the same.
Exactly. Do you know what's my version of unconditional love?
What's up?
Eating chicken wings. That is my unconditional love for me.
That's how you show unconditional love to yourself, is treating yourself to chicken wings.
Like meow. Even though my dog gets most of it because she's not eating. At
Right.
least I can get my skin.
Yeah, you're getting the best crunchy parts.
Yeah,
You're
the
getting
parts
the
that you
parts
can't
you're eating the parts that you can't have.
have. Yeah.
You know, but it really starts with, you know, just little things that we do for ourselves. What's something little that we can do for ourselves every single day to show that we are honoring ourselves, that we are showing ourselves gratitude, that we are showing ourselves love, that we are nurturing ourselves to continue to grow and continue to learn. And I'm trying to say this with a straight face while you're eating chicken, but I'm having a hard time because I'm finding it very hysterical. You're having fun with it.
It's paralleled.
It is parallel. I mean,
I'm just eating chicken with my hands. That's the other part.
Yeah. But again, finding the joy. You know, finding these little things all add up.
Yeah.
They all add up. And it's something as simple as treating yourself to chicken wings or treating yourself to your favorite coffee from your favorite place because you want to do something nice for yourself.
Or even your favorite brand of water.
Or your favorite brand of water. Or, you know, your favorite brand of whatever type of food or beverage or whatever it is. You know, it's really just taking that time to breathe and honor yourself. And if you don't have money to spend, treat yourself to sit down and watch your favorite movie with your phone turned off so you don't have any interruptions.
Yes. Or on focus mode if you're watching
it. Or focus mode if you're watching it on your phone. Yeah. Turn off all distractions and sit down with your favorite book and a cup of tea. You know, for me, one of the things that I did was I found a local yarn shop that specializes in hand-dyed wools. I went in, spent 2 hours there working on my current crochet project and did not spend a penny. I just got to look at all the pretty yarn and get inspired and work on this shawl that I'm making and meet a lot of grandmas. There were a lot of grandmas there, but it was great because we all just got to sat around and talked about whatever we were working on and if it was a gift and who it was for. And, you know, it was 2 hours of very calm, relaxed, no pressure, no judgment, work on your craft.
See, that's nice. And you know what? So I used to just window shop in vintage shops. That was my way of also doing unconditional love because I would get inspired by the decades of different types of clothing that somebody picked and decided to resell. They're so wonderful. And there was like, I remember just seeing some of the most intricate designs that I've never seen before. I have a love for fashion, folks. As you can tell, I do.
Right.
Such a strong love for fashion. And I love finding those unique pieces that are just like, wow. And the energy that it provides for others. Like that's something that I love.
So you found your passion is with fashion. Your passion is fashion. My passion is, you know, starting to redo the crochet and relearn how to do that. You know, for somebody who gets inspired and invigorated from being outdoors, there are national parks, there are different rose gardens that are, you know, no cost to walk through kind of thing. You know, there are museums that don't cost anything for you to go visit. You know, you can find ways away from technology. Sitting in front of our computers, I'm trying to not spend as much time in front of my computer as you can tell. But, you know, find ways away from our electronics to reconnect with ourselves, to be inspired, and to take that forward and then turn it into something else. And that something else could be anything from something you're actually making if you're doing an arts and craft, or it could turn into a topic for a podcast, or it could turn to a story, or it can turn into anything.
Or a YouTube channel
Or
that some. All right, so we have to talk about that for a second. Let's talk about unconditional love there. All right.
Yep,
So
go for that one.
We know that I have. Thank you. So we know that. Thank you, Katie, for the segue. So we know that we have the Touch and Empower podcast. We know that we have this on a plethora of channels.
Mhm.
And I used to, have my own Instagram. Thank you very much for everyone who follows me and watches there. There, I have a following of about 53,000 plus followers there. And then I started creating something else, right? So I was like, all right, let me try YouTube. I haven't done YouTube before. Let's see what happens. At first,
YouTube Shorts.
YouTube Shorts. Oh, I have a YouTube video that's coming out today. But YouTube Shorts. So I started creating a YouTube channel specifically for my coaching, like 15 seconds of coaching. And of course, it's transformational. So there's an intuitive base. And then
you did something just for the fun of it.
I did, and I was very shocked by the results. So I was laying in bed every night, and I love Stray Kids. I don't know if y'all know it. Because they're older. Okay.
And for clarification, for people who don't know who this is,
it's a K-pop band that is on a global release. They're doing just amazing. They've been in the game for about 10 years. And not only that, they are, in my opinion, they're revolutionizing the music industry with their sound.
Mm-hmm.
What's also very interesting about this K-pop band, they have an amazing following of loyal followers. Like, their community is robust. Something happens to one K-pop idol in that group, like in a negative way, they might go after you. It's very just vigorous.
They're protective of their band.
Yeah, because their band is so authentic. Like each member is very authentic to who they are, which is different than most K-pop groups. Additionally to that, it's just so mesmerizing to watch the shorts, like, of their stuff, what they do. So at one point I was like, you know what? If I'm actually just spending time staring at them in the evening before I go to bed, I might as well make reaction videos. In a month, my reaction videos have gone from like 20 views to 121,000 views.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's over 200 something watch hours from these shorts that it doesn't take long to make these. I just react with my face. I don't even have to put in my voice in there. And I just make a reaction to what they're doing. Could be just me staring at them and my dog walks in on me. And it makes thousands of views. One of them is 34,000 views where the lead singer or their leader of the entire group is asking Siri, hey, can you beatbox? It has 34,000 views. I'm like, and then of course I also intermingle, my own coaching aspect, and then it's starting to equal. Like the coaching
it's balancing out.
It's balancing. The coaching stuff was like 128 views. Now it's up like almost to 1,000, and I'm like, yeah, puppy, that's how I feel.
But again, you're finding a way to create from something that brings you joy.
That I love. And because
you do love watching those shorts, because you send them to me all the time.
Oh, all the time.
And it messed with my algorithm, but that's fine, because now I'm coming up with completely other random K-pop things showing up on my feed, and I don't understand it. Some of it's hysterical. Some of it I must be old because I don't get it, but it's okay.
That's for all of you out there. We'll drop my new handle in the chat so you can. We'll put it in the show notes. In the show notes so you can find me. I was trying to make it so that nobody could find me from my old following. I wanted to see if I can organically grow my own newness in this new channel.
Well, apparently you can.
Pretty fast.
And you know what? It doesn't hurt to share. Because one of two things will happen. Either nothing, new happens, or it's going to just grow and explode even more.
Apparently, I'm not far from earning money on this now. I'm
Well,
like, what?
Well, keep going.
I
Keep
guess I
going,
should have
keep
just
going.
stuck with what I loved.
So if, fair warning, if all of a sudden our podcast disappears, it's because Ace is making bank doing reaction videos to K-pop.
Okay, no. All right. So another thing is, I love this podcast. So
I
would
know
be
you do. I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. It's
I'd
all
be
in good fun.
I'd be reinvesting in this podcast.
I know. I couldn't resist. It was funny. That face.
See, those are the
But,
faces that I make apparently, and they go viral. Like,
and on that note, we do have to wrap up because we are coming up on time today, but it was fun catching up on the different versions of unconditional love and just, find your joy. Okay.
And that's it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. We love you so much. Thank you. Mwah.
Thank you for joining us. We hope that the discussion today will inspire you to take positive action in your life. Until next week, be empowered.